let's just jump right into it. We've got these unbelievably powerful AI tools that are supposed to make us superhumanly productive. So, why do so many of us feel more drained, more fried, and maybe even a little less sharp than before? It's this weird paradox, isn't it? And look, this isn't just a hunch from people dipping their toes in. This is from Matt Wolf, a guy who's been living and breathing the AI space for more than 6 years. When someone that deep in the game says he feels like he's getting dumber, it really makes you stop and think. So that's the big question we're going to tackle in this explainer. We're going to dive into the research, look at real-world stories, and try to figure out what is really going on when we plug ourselves into AI. To really get to the bottom of this, we first have to talk about something called the AI productivity paradox, this strange and frankly frustrating gap between what AI promises and what we're actually experiencing. The promise was so simple, right? AI would take care of all the grunt work, freeing us up for the big, creative, important stuff. But a major 8-month study from Harvard Business Review found the exact opposite is happening. For many, AI isn't reducing our workload, it's making it way more intense. So how is that even possible? Well, the study found 4 main ways this sort of workload creep happens. First, our tasks just expand. Since AI can fill in the gaps, we start taking on jobs we'd normally have to give to someone else or just say no to. Second, those work-life boundaries get super blurry. It's just too easy to fire off a quick prompt during lunch or while you're watching TV at night, so the workday never really ends. Third, we're doing way more multitasking, trying to keep track of multiple AI chats and projects all at once. And finally, the expectations, not just from our boss, but from ourselves, have just gone through the roof. The whole pace of work has just accelerated. And this isn't just some abstract theory. Let's look at a story from a software developer that really nails this feeling, how you can be producing more than ever, but feel more drained than ever. Before AI, a developer could spend an entire day, in that deep focus flow state, just tackling one big problem. And that felt good. It was an energizing act of building something. But now with AI, that same developer might touch 6 different problems in one day. Their job shifts from being the creator to being the reviewer, basically a quality control manager on an endless assembly line of AI code. And that constant context switching, man, it is just brutal on the human brain. So yeah, that constant switching, that move from creator to reviewer, it takes a serious toll. And it turns out that feeling of being completely fried isn't just in your head. Let's get into the science of it, because researchers actually have a name for this. It's called AI brain fry. Seriously. The Harvard Business Review defines it as a state of cognitive exhaustion that comes from constantly having to supervise AI. People in their studies talked about this buzzing feeling in their heads, mental fog, not being able to focus, and even getting headaches. It's the hidden cost of managing our new robot assistants. And get this, the researchers found something completely counterintuitive. While using 1 or 2 AI tools can definitely give you a boost, there is a very clear tipping point. The data shows that once you start trying to manage more than 3 different AI tools, your productivity doesn't just level off, it actually starts to drop. Your brain just can't keep up with the overload. So, cognitive overload is one piece of the puzzle, but there's something else going on, something a little more subtle. As this developer put it so well, when you keep outsourcing your initial thinking, the muscle you use for that thinking, well, it starts to get weaker. It's the perfect analogy, really. Think about phone numbers. I bet a lot of us used to have dozens of them memorized. But once we put them all on our smartphones, we didn't need that mental muscle anymore, so it faded. Well, the exact same thing seems to be happening with fundamental thinking skills like brainstorming, outlining, or even just building a coherent argument from scratch. So, researchers at MIT decided to actually test this theory. They had people write essays and split them into 3 groups. One group used a large language model like ChatGPT, another used a regular search engine, and the third group, the control, used only their brains. And here's the kicker. When they later tested the AI group without letting them use AI, EEG scans showed there was measurably less brain activity happening. It's wild. Their thinking muscles had literally gotten weaker from not being used. They found it much harder to write from scratch after getting used to the AI doing it for them. The MIT team gave this a name too, cognitive debt. It's the price of convenience. Every time we use AI to make a task easier, to reduce that short-term friction, we're also reducing our own brain's need to think critically. And over time, that builds up into a real debt in our own thinking abilities. Okay, so that all sounds kind of scary, I know. But listen, this is not a call to just unplug from AI and go live in the woods. Not at all. It's about learning to use these tools more consciously, more intentionally. So let's talk about how we can actually fight back against this brain drain. All right, here are 5 really practical things you can start doing right away. First, time box your AI sessions. Don't just have it open in a tab all day. Set a timer for, say, 30 minutes, go hard, and then close it. This stops that endless draining back and forth. Second, make a real separation between thinking time and AI time. Do your first draft, your brainstorming, on a piece of paper or a whiteboard. Build your own skeleton first, then bring in the AI to help flesh it out. This keeps your core thinking muscles strong. Third, and this is a big one, accept good enough. Don't fall into the trap of tweaking prompts for an hour to get the perfect response. Aim for 70%, grab it, and use your own brain to get it the rest of the way. It's almost always faster and way less draining. 4, just keep a simple log for a week. Seriously, just note down when AI was a huge time saver versus when it just sent you down a pointless rabbit hole. This will show you where it's actually useful for you. And finally, number 5, learn to let go. You don't have to check every single thing the AI spits out, especially for low-stakes stuff. Learn to trust it on the small things so you can save your precious brain power for what really counts.
At the end of the day, it really all comes down to a choice. The tool itself isn't good or bad. It's all about how we decide to use it. I think this quote from Mark Cuban just nails it. There are 2 paths, right? You can use AI as a crutch so you don't have to do the hard work of learning. Or you can use it as a springboard to learn faster and go deeper than you ever could before. Which path you're on makes all the difference. So, I'll leave you with that question to think about. As these tools get woven deeper and deeper into our lives, are you using them to replace your thinking, or are you using them to enhance it? The choice really is up to you.